Around the world, we are here waiting for the eye, and I see the eye right there. And we don't want to leave, no. We want to do. Oh, it's right here. Like that. Okay. That works better. Alright, so we have currently here TweetDeck, which is now called X Pro. Let's see what else we've got going on here. Put the chat in here so I can see. Alright, chat is activated. What else we have here? We can put some light music. It's not that loud today, which is good. This may take a second to adjust. We'll see. Okay, it's doing its thing. It's chugging along. Okay, we got it. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. Now I want to add TweetDeck to it and share. All right, one more button and we're there. We did it. Okay. It is definitely different working just with the one screen, but I'm getting used to it. Okay, so the bad news, time flies. The good news, you are the pilot. I do like that. Do you believe that to be true? We're having a little bit of coffee. Let's see what we've got in the cup today. It says, have faith. Have a little faith today. So everybody is on the bandwagon right now of the 49ers. And Christian McCaffrey is one of the forerunners of the MVP award this year. One of my favorite rookies this year is also Bijan Robinson. And we haven't heard as much from him, but he's doing great in the fantasy football. Kyrene Williams is also having a great year this year. Derrick Henry is supposedly okay. Doesn't have a concussion to the degree they thought it was, but there are protocols that they have to go through. And we'll have to see how Dallas does this week. That will be interesting. Dallas has a huge game coming up, so this will really prove if they can beat a better than 500 team when they come up against Jalen Hurts, right? And the boys. We'll have to see with Philadelphia. I personally think that Philadelphia will win that matchup. We read this yesterday. I love this. Let's put this back up here, okay? I don't care if I'm selfish after putting some people first for the longest time and being disappointed. I deserve to do whatever makes me feel happy. That one's kind of deep. I do like it. Oh, here we are, the odds for the offensive player of the year. Well, Tyreek Hill for sure. And look at right here. Here we go. Christian McCaffrey. We just talked about him. CD Lamb is also in the running. AJ Brown. Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts was doing much better a couple of weeks ago. Patrick Mahomes. Derrick Henry is in there. Tula and Lamar Jackson. And I don't think you can really underestimate the powers of Lamar. Lamar is highly gifted. I have a really strange feeling they're going to do a lot better than people are thinking this year. Okay, so let's have a quick look here. It looks like we have someone in the chat. I see the little bubble. Thank God we have that. Tony D. He's listening while driving. Well, that's good. This week will be, I think, a fantastic week for football. And we saw another dimension this week with, Jordan Love. And it looks like the pieces are starting to come together. And a lot of the analysts all over the world really look at this as a great time in the harvesting of young quarterbacks. Also, with so many people being injured this year, we are seeing quarterbacks that would have never got play time. And I think a lot of teams are now thinking, you know what, we need to have a worst case scenario if we are ever going to make it to the playoffs next year, because they didn't have a backup plan. And that includes the New York Jets. You know, there's been all kinds of stories this week, and Zach Wilson has been in the press because there was a leak that he was reluctant to go and play. And why wouldn't he be? If he knows he's going to be shipped off, does he want to get hurt? That could be the end of his career. I hope he can find his way to be the backup. And Aaron comes back this year, and Aaron's starting to look like he might be ready to play. There's a huge debate going on right now with Tyreek Hill. They can't let him be MVP, because MVP really is supposed to be a two-tier thing. Your image in public, because you are representing the National Football League, and with his very seedy, I think is the nicest way, history of, violence and all kinds of strange things, even when he was with the 49ers. The Kansas City Chiefs. I've got the 49ers in the brain today. I'm really excited to see where this is going to go. And lately my mind has been going, okay, Tyreek Hill, MVP. I often think, wow, if somehow the Kansas City Chiefs could have kept him, or a team like the 49ers could have got him, then he would have had another shot at being a Super Bowl champion. There's very few teams that I think are in the running. And he could be an asset with any team. But I think at this point in his career, I think it's not so much about the money anymore. I think he really wants to play amongst people that he respects. And I would not be shocked if in the future we see a chance or a potential that he does go to what I believe to be the top 3-tier teams. I really don't think the Dolphins have what it takes to do it. They have the weapons, yes, but they have a history of not doing great in the playoffs. And it's the same with the Cowboys. And we're going to have to see with the Cowboys what they can do with teams that are better than 500. This is a wonderful story right here. And you can see this. The Buccaneers, Mike Evans, has now recorded 10 seasons over 1,000 yards. And the truth is, before the end of this year, he could end up having 1,500 yards easily. What I've been doing, and I want people to know this too, is that you can record these on Restream, and then you can repurpose them later, like I do on TikTok. And you just cut it up. And now in TikTok, you can't have anything more than 10 minutes. But if you have a snippet over, say, the 20 minutes that you're on air, you can cut it, dice it up, and repurpose it on TikTok or on Instagram. Now, Instagram, I believe, is a minute and a half. But they are talking about Instagram having things up to an hour. They're really thinking of changing the direction in the future. I've also had problems with TikTok recently where I tried to play something that had the background music, which is copyright free, and they said they couldn't use the audio. Now, if I put it low, on that video I had it higher, I've yet to have problems. And you're going to find that as long as you get on every year and you make a schedule for yourself, and the new year is just around the corner, and maybe you've never done podcasts in the past, this is a great opportunity to start doing a podcast. Find something that you're passionate about. Years ago, I started doing stuff that was mostly spiritual. And then this year, I decided to do football because I believe football has the greatest audience and the greatest potential for success long term for an old guy like me. I also really love that there's constantly a brand new storyline and it is generating constant buzz. So it's an easy thing to talk about, which I love. But find your flavor, find your tribe, find whatever makes you happy, and share that with a podcast. Now, if you're a kind of person that doesn't like to be seen, then you can do just an audio podcast. If you're a person like Tony D who enjoys being seen and likes the interaction of being able to see the other participants in the room, I highly recommend getting something like Restream. Because then you can have up to 6 participants and it runs all through a web-based formula. And it's very much like a Zoom call, but better quality. You can also run Zoom through your Restream. I purposely have never done that because I find I like to stay with one format. But if your work is running through that and you want to do something, say on LinkedIn, this is the place to be. It really is. Because Restream makes it easy to have multiple people, and you don't really need to have amazing equipment. You can do it on your phone. You can do it from your computer. What you're seeing right here, right now, is me on my computer. And we are looking at multiple screens, but you're only seeing one. I can flip it back and forth. If you end up having landscape, it's great if you're going to just post it on YouTube. But if you really know that your audience is going to be on their phone, I highly recommend doing it this way. It's just easier. You do have the ability, though, to flip the screen if you have landscape and make it fit. But I sometimes find that the audio doesn't mesh well. And I don't know why that is. Maybe it's just not meant to be flipped. So we're going to have a list here from Stone. And it says, my top NFL quarterbacks: Patrick Mahomes, number 1. Number 2, Lamar Jackson. CJ Stroud, number 3. Dak Prescott, number 4. Number 5, Josh Allen. I totally agree with that. 6, Jalen Hurts. Tula, of course. And Justin Herbert. Wait, is there more? There must be. Let's see here. What else does it have? He has Trevor Lawrence, who is now injured, and Brock Purdy. Now, I honestly believe Brock Purdy is in the top 3 now. But everybody is entitled to their opinion. This must be statistical, this right here. Interesting. And that's the great thing. You can make any list you want. It doesn't even have to make sense. Jeez. There he is. It's like tomato. There you go. He keeps me on the run here. He keeps me on the run. All right. Let's put this in here right now. We have the Dallas Cowboys. Oh, yeah. With Dak Prescott. I think that's a little high myself. I don't think he's number 1. But statistically, in some ways, he is. And I think I'm stuck on him being more like a top 3. I believe that Patrick Mahomes has the ability and the skill set to win any game. If he is in a situation and he can align himself, I would love to go into battle with him. I think most teams would be that way. I don't think there's a team in the league that would not be interested in him. Josh Allen is, I think, a diamond in the rough. They have him at number 3. CJ Stroud is still very young, has so many years ahead of him. He was a quarterback that many had kind of tarnished his reputation, and I don't know why they felt like they had to do that. And then we have Jalen Hurts, who I believe is struggling this year with injuries. He also does not have the tool sets around him that he once had. We're going to have to see how they do against Dallas. I think they're going to do great, especially if they can get their running game going. All right. So here we go, week 13, but we're actually in week 14 now, right? Let's read this one here. Make your heart heal. May your past no longer block your view of the present. May you breathe again, laugh again, rest again, live again, and may it be so. I also love this one. The laws of detachment. Allow others to be who they are. Allow yourself to be who you are. Don't force situations. Situations will emerge. Uncertainty is reality. Embrace it. There is a reason why you should thank yourself. Life has tested you every day, and even though you may have fallen a few times, you should never. You stood up again. Never give up. It's almost like I got a sentence ahead there. These are wonderful ones to do if you want to do a whole show on them. Or if you want to ask a guest, I highly recommend Mindful Millionaire. It's a wonderful website. Worth a look for anybody who is trying to improve themselves. Be so completely yourself that everyone else feels safe to be themselves too. I like this. My to-do list for today: count my blessings, practice kindness, let go of what I can't control. And I think most people, that is insanely hard to do. We're all trying to control so many things, especially when we're younger. And I think that's more of an ego-based thing. Be productive yet calm. Just breathe. And I totally agree. Breathe, breathe, breathe. When you're stressed out, take deep, long, beautiful breaths. Don't allow silly drama to stress you out. Breathe and let it go. Now I like seeing that. This one is wonderful too, right here. And this is something that you could do with a team that you have at work, right? Like, set clear goals. Who doesn't need to do that in their life? Prioritize self-care. Self-care is amazing. If you're not looking after yourself, right? You're no good to anybody. I do that a lot. I'm not sure what he does a lot. Practice gratitude, which is something I try to do daily. Read regularly. I think that's the greatest way and the quickest way to grow. And read different things. Stretch yourself out. Step into situations maybe where you're not comfortable. Seek continuous learning. And, I think that's harder as you get older because you get stubborn. And you kind of get a one-mindedness with things. Practice mindfulness. Practice effective time management. Embrace failure. That can be very difficult to do. Develop a positive mindset. Cultivate discipline. Surround yourself with positive influences. I highly recommend that. And we do that every Saturday, Sunday. On the weekends, we get together and we do different types of broadcasts together. Some of them are on Twitter Spaces. Some of them are on Twitter. Sometimes we even do wonderful shows on Sunday with Tony, who is with us in the chat right now. And it is a great way to test your, speaking skills. And the more you get comfortable doing public speaking, the better it will be in all aspects of your life. Practice active listening. That can be very difficult. Embrace challenges. Again, it almost feels like we're doing this circular thing. Practice effective communication. Take responsibility for your actions. And all great leaders learn that. reflect and journal. And so many people on Twitter Spaces talk about journaling. Embrace lifelong learning. I highly agree with that. Develop healthy habits, and that's eating habits, where you eat. I think also in the sense of maybe meditating, taking long walks. I heard a really cool statistic the other day where every hour that you exercise, you will extend your life by 3 hours. That's a pretty good payback. Now, as you get older, an hour's worth of exercise is not easy, right? Practice self reflection, take calculated risk. And I highly recommend this site right here, Mindful Millionaire. Today I choose to live with gratitude for the love that fills my heart, the peace that rests within my spirit, and the voice of hope that says all things are possible. All right, let's have a quick look at the notifications today. I'm just going to slide this over here, make it fit into the window, and we're going to get rid of Tony here. And we're going to put his little comment there. I do that a lot. That's the funny thing with comments, is 'cause a lot of times by the time you get the comments, you're about 19 subjects ahead of where that comment was. But I think it's always important to post the contributors to your chat. All right, so let's see what we have here in notifications today. Let's go back here. Here's a wonderful person to follow right here. My Power Talk. Incredible influence here. 338,000 followers. Toronto TO blog is amazing if you are Canadian. It was about the breath. Oh. Are you being sarcastic, Tony? Or are you being real? Do you practice mindful breathing? Are you a person who meditates? Is there an element that I don't know about you? Is this a new level to the onion? I think everyone should try meditation. I highly recommend it. I really do. Okay. Here's another person who I've not seen for a while. And Tony and I used to see her in our broadcast all the time. There she is right there. She used to come into our MySpaces from time to time. She does a lot of different content. Tomorrow. Maybe I'll check her out. Yeah, see, she's doing more special guests. I think that's a good trend to do, is keep it fresh, right? And that's the thing with Twitter Spaces, it can get stale very simply by just having the same people in the room day in, day out. And it's a great way to build communities, but it can also then just become more of a club and not necessarily a wonderful place to find new information or new sources. But I know of certain broadcasts where the quality of the broadcast every week is amazing, and if anything, it's getting better with time. The Stoic community is really good for that. Here's another person who is very busy on social media, Maria, and she has, I believe, a broadcast most days at 6 Eastern. I think so, at night. Here's Greenie. Greenie is an intuitive that I've known for a long time and does broadcast. Highly recommend her. Her broadcasts are always fun. You never know what you're going to get. And George here. I don't really know George that well. Let's see what he's all about. He's an award-winning author. Hashtag kindness, creatives, nature, wildlife. Okay. Imagine that, the magic of the mysterious lights. That must be one of his writings. Interesting. Oh, that's so cute. All right, so if you're ever looking for great quotes, I'm just gonna flip this over here and see if I can get it to fit, and I just did. Not too bad. So I make up lists, and this is one of the lists that I have. And when I originally did it, it was a great way to filter the content that I was seeing on Twitter, because Twitter's crazy. We know that. But if you use the list and watch the contributors on the list, you're going to find better content. And you're going to find it right there. You know, when you need it, how you need it. And the other thing is, too, if you see something you really like, bookmark it. And then you can use it later. Some of these are hilarious. There's the power of 444. Is there certain number sequences that you see in your life every day, over and over again? For a while, I was seeing 333. Read it out again, for the love of God. Let's put that up there. There you go. I frustrate Tony. I don't mean to. Oh, that's beautiful. Look at that. That's gorgeous. See, I love art like that. That's amazing. Okay, here we go. Pennies tend to be about relationships. Here we go. The older you get, the faster you figure out who your real friends are. It's not always about who has known you the longest. It is about who makes you feel seen, heard, understood, appreciated, supported, and loved. I totally agree. To crave someone's energy and presence instead of just their body is the purest form of intimacy. I would agree with that. Here's a guy that used to do Twitter Spaces. I think he still does. He has a huge following as well. The Mindset Machine here, or just Mindset Machine, has a monstrous following here. Look at this, 356,000 followers. That's impressive. I love that photo. Okay, let's get rid of Tony's. We got Fireman Rich here. Michael. There he is. He's putting my name weird. I don't know why that is. There we go. So we should try to do, Fireman Rich, a show soon. We did. You have all the scores, right, Fireman Rich, for next week? We did them already. We got ahead of the curve. Who do you think's going to win tonight, guys? Who do you think's in the running? Okay, let's look here. Oh, I like this. Support living artist. That's so true. we tend to follow artists that are no longer around. I would agree. Oh, and David Bennett, another wonderful person to follow. The universe is saying, allow me to flow through you, unrestricted, and you will see the greatest magic you have ever seen. All right, Soul Vibes is another one I followed for a long time. The more you try to control something, the more it controls you. Free yourself and let things take its own natural course. I would agree with that. Sorry, on my laptop. I got it right now. Okay. Interesting. Who do you think is going to win tonight, folks? Any idea? Put it in the comments if you can. I think it's going to be a great week. Just gonna have a quick look here. I did notice Amari Cooper is injured and might be out for the year, which is horrible. The other thing who is rising right now in the fantasy leagues, believe it or not, is Ezekiel Elliott, only because of injuries. Keenan Allen is also a hot pick this week. T. Higgins is also. Trey McBride, Bryce Hall, and Achane. Or Achane. I've heard it both ways. Michael Pittman Jr. is also someone who's been doing very well the last couple of weeks, and a favorite of Tony D's is Najee Harris, or Najee. I think I said that right. Brandon Ayuk, you know who he's from? The 49ers. He's also highly rising, and there's some people produce the thoughts of there may be hopes for the Broncos, which means Russell Williams. I always say that. It's Russell Wilson. You know what? I should know that because some of my favorite singers have the last name Wilson. So let's try it again. Let's see if I can get this right. Russell Wilson. But I always want to say the other one. I have electric contractors installing a new service to the house. Been on a generator for the last 6 hours and will still be on a generator for the next 5. Oh, wow. Well, that's gotta suck. But do you ever have that where you have a name and it's ingrained in your brain a certain way, even though you know it's not right? For me, Russell Wilson is something I have to relearn, and I've always called him the other. And I'm afraid to call the other because it will be loony time. Damn laptop. I think you'll be okay. You know what? Sometimes it's good to have a break from social media. Sometimes you got to know when to step away. Wouldn't you agree with that? I love these ones too. So we're coming up to about the time that when I liked, yeah, we're very close. Introverts chill different. No crowds, no clubs, no bars. 2 people having deep conversations about life, about love, about living, about the meaning of it all. That's what they crave. Things that matter. Things that help you grow. Things that hit different. I like that. I like that a lot. Oh, look at this one. What is the first thing that comes to your mind when you see that? To me, it's the all-seeing eye, but if you look there, it's a whole bunch of different eyes. Different styles of eyes. Human eyes, demonic eyes, it looks like. Crocodile eyes. Yeah, that looks like a crocodile. Or maybe even a dinosaur. This is beautiful. That's gorgeous. Now, all people, all humans, if you like that better, have electrical current around their bodies. And they have distinct auras that can be recorded now by camera. It's very cool technology. Alicia is a person that I've followed for a very long time. This is her right here. The Soul Whisper. I cannot look back in time filled with regret, but accept it to move forward without regret. I like that. And this is all from the list of great quotes on Twitter. I like this. Old keys cannot unlock new doors. You want to change? You need new habits. I would agree. In Christ, who you are, as you are, is equipped with every good thing to do. His every good work. Okay. The most used phrase in your house is, I like that one. You can put that in the comments. So if you can, subscribe, follow, like, share, and, thank you to the 2 individuals that were here today with me. We are definitely part of a crew. We have Fireman Rich right now, who is, I think, learning patience with having a generator. But, how many generations didn't have any power? And just to have clean water, to be warm, dry, and fed was, a challenge each and every day. And a lot of us take that for granted. So if you still have all the amenities, you're forming, you know, new pathways to a better life. So maybe the contractors will make your life a few steps closer to perfection. But there is no such thing as far as I'm concerned. All right. If you repeatedly have to tell someone something hurts you over and over again and nothing changes, understand they don't respect you at all. Ooh, that's pretty deep. And that was Pammy. Pammy/DS. When you start treating life as a blessing, it becomes one. That is a great place to end. Thank you so much, folks. Hope to see you all soon. Have an awesome day and enjoy this weekend. There's all kinds of great football. Also remember too, at this time of the year, many people are very lonely. Chaos for now. The truth is, within this journey, right, there's always people who are going to be doing better than us, and there's always going to be those who do worse. And as long as we can support the people within our inner circle, especially family, every way that we possibly can, with patience and dignity and honor. And as people get older, it's more and more difficult to get about. So if you know individuals within your world that maybe need you to shovel their driveway, go get them groceries, drive them to church, whatever's important to them, make the time to do that, especially during the Christmas season. I think that's the best way to, live in the embodiment of the Christmas spirit. Thank you so much. Take care. See you soon, hopefully tomorrow, and have a fabulous